Hello everyone, we are in Creve Coeur, Illinois today at the famous Fort Creve Coeur here. Fort Creve Coeur was established in 1680 by French explorers René Robert Cavelier and Robert de La Salle. This was one of the first outposts in the Illinois River Valley area by Europeans. The story of Fort Creve Coeur is La Salle and his team built the fort as a base for further exploration and to protect themselves from rival groups. They named it Creve Coeur, which means broken heart in French. The name came from many hardships they faced, like harsh weather, scarce food, and conflicts. But despite these tough times, Fort Creve Coeur became a crucial outpost for the French. It helped them trade with the Native American tribes, explore the Mississippi River, and expand their territories. The fort was strategically located on the Illinois River, which made it a perfect spot for trading with the Native American tribes and for future expeditions. The natives called this area Pimitowe, which meant fat lake, for the abundance of food and resources in this area. This fort, built with timber and earth, featuring good strong walls and watchtowers on the other side. However, things did not go as planned. La Salle left the fort with a small group of explorers to continue further down the Illinois River. But trouble soon followed. The men that were left behind grew discontented. Food supplies were running low, the weather was harsh, and the tensions were beginning to go high. Without La Salle's strong leadership, the situation worsened. The men feared attacks from rival groups and felt isolated and vulnerable. The once hopeful mission turned into a dire struggle for survival. Let's take a closer look at the reasons behind the abandonment of Fort Creve Coeur. Firstly, the harsh winter of 1680 was particularly brutal. The cold weather made it difficult to find food and to keep warm. The fort was not equipped to handle such extreme conditions. Secondly, the relationship with local Native American tribes were tense. While some of the tribes were friendly and traded with the French, others were hostile and saw the fort as a threat to their villages. There were several small skirmishes and attacks, making it dangerous for the men to leave the safety of the fort. Thirdly, internal conflicts among the men themselves led to distrust and frustration. La Salle left to Henri de Tonty in charge, but not everyone respected his authority. This lack of unity weakened their ability to defend and maintain the fort. In the face of these challenges, the men decided they could no longer stay. They abandoned Fort Creve Coeur, seeking safety and better conditions elsewhere. This abandonment marked the end of the fort's short but significant chapter in Peoria history. Despite its abandonment, Fort Creve Coeur had a long-lasting impact. It served as an important lesson for future explorers about the challenges of establishing new settlements and new territories. This experience gained here helped the French in their subsequent explorations and settlements. Today, Fort Creve Coeur may not look like how it did in the 1600s, but its legacy lives on. This fort was a key stepping stone in the exploration and development of the Midwest. It paved the way for future settlements and helped shape the region. Creve Coeur honors its history with local museums, historical markers, and community events. Learning about Fort Creve Coeur helps us understand how people lived, explored, and built the world that we know today. Behind me is the monument that recognizes the actual location of the fort. And inscribed on the back is a story. It's written from historians today about the impact of the fort. In 1680, upon this spot stood Fort Creve Coeur, built from the plans of Robert Cavelier and Robert de La Salle. Here was centered the hope of Louis XIV for a broader empire of the French on American soil. From here in 1680 went forth La Salle on his heroic march of 1,500 miles to Fort Frontenac, and in 1682 also from here to the great task of the exploration of the Mississippi River.